Screw you, Storm Dudley.
Morning. We're almost at the end of February now, and I thought, well, I'd do a quick sort of like vlog and just talk about where my training is at. And I think the reason why I wanted to do these vlogs, other than the educational stuff that I do and the riding things that I do, is because it's a good way for you guys to get to know me, and it's a cool way to talk to you about what's going on in my life and how my training's going, because I think it's really important when you start a YouTube channel that you just don't like churn out content and you guys get to know the person behind the camera properly, so it's a bit like a behind the scenes video. We've had a lot of storms this month here in the UK, and yeah, it's been challenging this month, but my training's gone really well and I'm really happy with it, except for last week there were a few things that were off piste, but hey, look, that's normal. It's part and parcel of just everyday living and training in the UK. We don't always get the greatest weather. What's been really cool this month is that the YouTube channel started to grow in numbers, which is great, and people are starting to interact, which is kind of exactly what I wanted to do with the channel. The most popular video so far to date is my strength training video that I was talking about what I do in the gym. And I've had a few really cool conversations with people, so you can go and check that out if you like. And that's the whole point of this channel, is to help people get the best out of their training, think about the nutrition in a really sort of sustainable way, and also kind of like show people what I'm up to and show people that as you get older, you can still train effectively and be really strong and fast on your bike. And that's the thing I do with Velo. So with coaching, I'm not about racing with my coaching at Velo. I'm all about just getting as fit as you can, being as strong as you can on the bike, enjoying your bike riding, and thinking about being really healthful with your food and flexible so you can have fun with your food and stay within a really desired body shape that you want to get into without having to follow any silly diets. Anyway, I've digressed. One of the things I've really enjoyed this month is making my own rice pudding, because I quite like my oats in the morning, but in actual fact, when you look at the total calories of oats, it's quite high because it's got a fair bit of fat content in it. So by making my own rice pudding, it's dropped the calories of my breakfast, but it's still giving me plenty of carbohydrates. And actually, I've kind of finally found a recipe that is really straightforward to make and pretty delicious. That's been a real win for me in the cooking stakes, because let's face it, I am not the worst cook, but I am definitely not Gordon Ramsay, apart from the swearing in the kitchen. In my last vlog, I talked about what I was trying to aim for with my own training, and I've been pretty consistent with that. On the bike, the one extra thing I've been putting in is hill reps on the bike, and actually, I've quite enjoyed those, although last week they felt really tough. And I'd expect that after a 3-week build. I was riding really, really strong on the hill reps, and I had a bit of a headwind, but I won't lie to you. I did get to the 3rd rep thinking, these feel slow. But actually, when I looked at the data on Training Peaks, they were still very strong. I'm happy with where that's gone. I'm really glad that it's a deload week this week, that's for sure. With the strength training, that started to grow a little bit more in what I can lift on the deadlift. It's not quite where I wanted it to be, but if I'm really honest, that increase in load on the bike has made me maybe sort of not add so much weight in the gym, and that's the interference effect from what I'm doing on the bike within the gym. I am getting stronger because I was about 110-ish to 105, and I'm consistently lifting 105 in all my reps after my warm-up. So that's shown progression. I just haven't lifted the weight where I kind of wanted to get it to, because I wanted to try and hit it to 120 by the time I get to Mallorca at the end of this month. I think my goal for my strength training will get it up to 120 by the end of this month. One thing I needed to do was look at my weight and start basically going on a diet. I was about 68 kg, just slightly over it, when I started in the end of January. And my goal was trying to hit 67. And when I weighed myself this morning, I was 66.8. Now, all week I've been weighing, because generally what I tend to do is weigh over the week and then divide it by 7, because it gives you a really good average, because you do fluctuate depending on the training that you're doing and what you're eating and things like that. So you have to be really mindful about what you're doing. If you just do a snapshot weight and think, well, that's where I'm currently at, generally that can be pretty wrong. So weighing yourself over 7 days, and then dividing it by 7 gives you that really good average. But I'm kind of happy with where I'm at. I'm starting to look leaner, which is great. And that's another thing. So by looking at yourself in the mirror, you can see that you're actually starting to change shape. I do really want to try and get down to 66 kg. So if I'm really honest with myself, I'm gonna have to be way more stricter with some of the fun foods that I'm eating. And I've been a bit relaxed with some of the things I do at the weekends. And I've been having the odd glass of wine here and there. Now, I don't want to live like a monk. No one wants to do that. But if I want to lose a bit more weight and get down to my target weight, I'm gonna have to be a little bit more focused this month. Anyway, so that's enough about where I am with my weight. And then a few things which is quite cool is that I took the BMC in to go and get a service, and the guys at Cycle Scuderia, which is the shop that I sent it to. Now, here's a good thing. Can I service my own bike? Hell no. I know how to do certain things, but frankly, what I think about is that I spend all my time coaching and delivering and making content for the YouTube channel. And realistically, sometimes you weigh things up and think, do you know, I just don't have the time to do more stuff. So it's like, well, I'm gonna farm things out that I really would prefer someone else to do, and they'll do a better job than me. So I basically send my bike to Cycle Scuderia and they do everything for me. But the cool thing is they've looked at the BMC, they've given it proper old shakedown, and they've completely resurfaced it. So it's got a new chain cassette, brand new tires, they've updated the Di2. Everything internally is pretty much brand new. So I'm excited about that. And it means when I get to Mallorca, I've got a bike that will easily be able to take on 1,000 miles without any worry to it. One of the things I'm kind of chuffed at is I managed to get 100 mile in. So last week was like the build week going into deload week. And even though we had a couple of storms back to back, we had that weather window in between where if you, and this thing when you become a cyclist, you just stare at the weather forecast and figure out what days are going to be best to get your longer rides in. And I was staring at the weather forecast all week, thinking there's going to be a weather window between each storm, so I'll be able to get out. It wasn't great conditions, and if you see the video that I've done about training for over 50s, there's a moment where I have to hide in a bus shelter from a rain cloud. Don't normally do that, but when you're riding 100 miles, you don't want to get absolutely soaked. But I was really chuffed that actually I managed to get that 100-mile bike ride out in between the storms, because getting the 100 miles out each month is a real good fitness builder, and it's a good progress marker to be able to ride that confidently and feel really good about where my fitness is and how I'm riding at the time, and I didn't really want to miss it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. Right, so that's my catch up. I'm going to ride the bike today, but nice and steady. The weather's changed, so it's really beautiful outside, and it'd be criminal not to take advantage of that. Look, if you've liked this video, or if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit like, hit subscribe, and that way you can stay in touch. I am trying to give out really good content that's evidence-based behind the practice that I do with my coaching and with nutrition. I have studied this, so I am trying to make sure that we block out crazy notions of silly nutrition stuff and give people real good focus in their training, help them understand what works and what is a good practice for making sure that you stay uninjured and enjoying your training, and also getting stronger and faster on your bike. And yeah, do you know what? I'll be back next week. Thanks for watching.